welcome to the Home Team Friday preview show. It is week 8 of the season. I'm Randall Parma. As always, Michael is here. 2 weeks left in the regular season in Indiana. My goodness, where has the time gone?
The time has just flown by, and every Thursday during the season, we'll get you ready for each week's slate of games. And remember, this is only online, so you can find each new show here on Thursdays on TriStateHomepage.com. So, gosh, it's so cool that we're already to this point.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about sectionals right here before we know it. Let's go ahead and get the show started and take a look back at week number 7. And what a week it is.
Yes.
And we're going to start in the jungle, where for the second week in a row, Heritage Hills turned a heavyweight fight into a TKO. The Patriots used a dominating second half to blow past Southridge Friday night. A 7-7 tie at halftime ended up being a 42-7 win. That's now 18 straight wins in the regular season for the Patriots, who have all but wrapped up the Pocket Championship. Heritage Hills has games left at Forest Park and South Spencer. They're going to be the heavy favorites in both of those games.
Meanwhile, the battle of the SIAC went to Central last Friday night. The Bears beat Memorial, but it took 2 overtimes to do so. Central wins 23-20, and the Bears are now all alone in first place in the SIAC with a perfect 5-0 conference record with 2 to go. Pretty cool for Central.
So they are definitely in the driver's seat as well. Meanwhile, Castle, one of 4 teams still alive in the SIAC race, of course, chasing Central. The the Knights are now 4-1 in conference play, tied with Memorial for second place. Both those teams only 1 game back. The Knights have bounced back from their loss to the Bears with back-to-back impressive wins. In fact, they've not allowed a point in back-to-back games. That defense has been stellar. Castle will host North Friday night. More on that game coming up in just a bit. All right, Heritage Hills. Any doubt that they're playing the best of anybody in the Tri-State right now? They blew out Southridge. They blew out Gibson Southern. They have wins over Mount Vernon, who's playing great right now. They beat Jasper, who's playing great.
Right.
They're playing better than anybody, in my opinion, right now.
And I would have to agree. I think you got to give credit where credit is due. They beat undefeated teams. They beat teams on the road, and they've handled their business while showing great defense and offense. It's without a doubt that Heritage Hills deserves to be one of the top teams in the Tri-State because they're doing it on both sides of the ball, Randall.
Central in the driver's seat in the SIC. Slow start, but the Bears are clicking now. Offensively and defensively, they're hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, when you have Colin Sterner making passes like he is, and that defense too. We wanted to talk about the offense, but really I think the defense is making headlines as well. Really, Sean Coltis' team has been playing past expectations, and I think they are going to continue to do well as we wrap up the end of the regular season.
And for Castle, bad loss. Well, I don't want to say a bad loss, but they didn't play well in their first game of the season against Bloomington South. They had all sorts of troubles against Central, but other than that, they played awfully well, and here they are just kind of hanging back. Not a lot of folks have talked about them in the conference, but if Central gets upset and Castle closes out, you know, they can finish in a tie for first place. Maybe even still win the SIAC.
I think Doug Hurt likes the position he's at. I think he would like to have some of those games back that he didn't play as well, but the Knights really need this win against North to really make that late push, but they are looking good, and if they continue to just squeak out games, win, they maybe still be in that conversation for an SIAC title.
And again, we're going to talk about that North game coming up in just a bit. All right, let's take a look at the schedule of games that you will see tomorrow night on Home Team Friday, and it's going to be another big night. 12 games scheduled for the big show. It all gets started at 10:35 on ABC 25, and we're going to start in the SIAC with a couple of big games that have conference championship implications. Central hosts Mater Dei. The Wildcats have to win to stay in the chase, and as we mentioned, Castle hosts North. The Knights are only 1 game out. Bosse is at Wrights, and Harrison will be at Memorial.
Elsewhere, Heritage Hills is at Forest Park. The Patriots can claim at least a share of the pocket with a win. Pike Central will be at Southridge. Tell City will be at Gibson Southern. The Pioneers will take on the Rebels, South Spencer.
Princeton will be at Mount Vernon. Mount Carmel is at Vincennes Lincoln. And in Kentucky, another big game for Madisonville North Hopkins as they are hosting Hopkinsville. And Apollo is at Henderson County. All right. Again, 12 games, all get started tomorrow night, 10:35 on Home Team Friday on ABC 25. Let's break down a couple of those matchups now. We call it the Big Three, and we will start in the SIAC. or Castle is hosting North. The Huskies are coming off of their biggest win in at least 10 years. It was the last second win against Wrights Friday night. Now, North still has an outside shot at the SIAC championship, but they need to keep leaning and then get a little help. North has lost, get this, 17 straight to Castle.
Wow.
You know that they'll be looking to snap that streak.
Yeah, Randall, and the Knights' defense will need to be great once again. And as you mentioned earlier, that Castle defense has tossed back-to-back shutouts, and they will be tested against a North offense that has been very good. Doug Hurt's team is right in the middle of the conference race, and just like North, they'll need to keep winning and hope somebody can beat Central.
All right, staying in the SIAC, it is win-or-go-home time for Mater Dei. The Wildcats are still alive, but another conference loss will eliminate them. They get a chance to give Central their first conference loss of the year. The Cats have lost 2 out of 3 in that offense that was so explosive early. It's faded just a bit lately. In both of those losses, Mater Dei has scored a total of 3 points. So, you know, Mike Gable's going to want to get that offense cranked up again tomorrow night.
Right. Ouch. Well, the conference is Central's to lose right now. The Bears are in the driver's seat with a 5-0 SIAC record. Central is as hot as anyone in the Tri-State right now, and after losing their season opener, the Bears have rattled off 6 straight wins. Central, by the way, hasn't lost to Mater Dei since 2015.
All right, let's head to Kentucky now, where Apollo will be on the road at Henderson County. The Eagles hit the road with a 2-4 record. Check out these stats. In their 2 wins, the Eagles have scored 66 points and 49 points. They even scored 51 points in a loss. So we know that the offense is there, but defense is a big problem. Apollo is giving up an average of 51 points a game. You're not going to win many when you give up a 50 burger every night out.
Right, maybe 50 nuggets. And I promise you, Henderson County's offense is licking their chops, eager to get a shot at that Apollo defense. And this will be the first home game for Henderson County since September 13th, and the Colonels are working on a great season under the radar, and they may be, with their 1 loss, the best under the radar team in the Tri-State. The Colonels are 5-1. Josh Boston's team hasn't been flashy this year, but they have been very good, and this is the second of 4 straight district games for Henderson County.
And of course, that determines who gets into the playoffs in Kentucky, that district record, and the Colonels looking pretty good right now, so we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow night. All right, now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Veach's Nuggets of the Week, and the man himself will give his own unique take at our Big 3. So let's get right straight to Chris Veach. Hey, Veach. Oh, he's hiding.
Oh, there he is.
All right, it's safe to come out. It's week 8, and don't it feel great? Only 2 more weeks left until sectionals begin in Indiana. We're heading down the home stretch. Time for teams to be playing their best football. Here are my Nuggets of the Week. All right, let's start in the Bluegrass State with Apollo at Henderson County. The first time these two will meet since 2012. Now, if you like a lot of offense and little defense, then the Apollo Eagles are the team to watch, especially in their last game. Get this. The Eagles and McCracken County combined for 1,312 total yards. That's more than 13 football fields. All the Eagles put up 51 points in that game and still lost. Apollo can't seem to stop too many teams, giving up on average 441 yards a game. Is that bad? It's not good. Meanwhile, in Henderson County, it has been a finger-licking good season for the Colonels. A big reason why? Defense. The Colonels are allowing only 16 points a game. It's Nugget time, Apollo. Your games are fun to watch, but did you know defense wins championships? You get a 4-piece. Henderson County looks to continue its strong season tomorrow night. I give the Colonels a 6-piece. Now, let's skip across the river to the SIAC first with North at Castle. The Huskies did something last week they hadn't done since 2006. Knock off the Wrights Panthers. Well, this week it's the same story. North looks to get its first win over Castle since 2006. The Huskies look to do it with their explosive offense, which is averaging more than 34 points a game. But it won't be easy against this Castle defense. The Knights D has forced 3 shutouts this season, including the last 2 weeks. One of those was against Mater Dei. North You got that statement win last week against Rides. I give you a 10-piece for that. Castle, you've had 2 impressive weeks after that rough night at Central Stadium. It was pretty brutal. For that, you get a 6-piece. Now, to our final matchup, Mater Dei at Central. What a game last week between Central and Memorial. So great, they needed double overtime. And with that win, the Bears are now in the driver's seat. They have a chance to win their first outright SIAC title since 2006. Stress outright there. But it won't be easy tomorrow night against the Wildcats. We know both these teams can score. But how about their defenses? Both Central and Mater Dei are allowing just under 12 points a game this season. And the Bears have won this matchup the past 3 years, but the Wildcats, they own the series overall, 36-29-2, dating back to their first game in 1950. Hey, you know what came out in 1950? The first publication of Peanuts. Good grief. Central, the SIAC, it's yours to lose. I give you a 10-piece for that. Mater Dei, good shutout win last week against Bosse. That's a 6-piece. Hey, you've heard of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Well, it's the Great Nuggets, Charlie Brown. Those are my nuggets for the week. Randall and Michael, back to you.
You know, Veach kind of looks like the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, he does.
If we could get, if we had a chance to do a little superimposing.
He fits the Fall Fest theme, too.
He does. It does. All right, thanks, Veach.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult, but I'll take it.
Take it as a compliment. As always, fantastic job for that. All right, now it's time to take a look at our week number 8 rankings. And we have a lot of movement this week. Michael and I both got a really big shake-up. So here we go. I have a new number 1 this week. I don't think there's any doubt to this. Heritage Hills takes over the top spot. As I mentioned, wins over Mount Vernon, who's red hot right now. They beat Jasper and blew out Southridge and Gibson Southern on back-to-back weeks. The Pioneers, or I should say the Patriots, are perfect this year, so they move to number 1. I have Central in at number 2, followed by Memorial, Madisonville, North Hopkins, and Owensboro stays at number 5. All right, the second half looks like this. Gibson Southern up to number 7. Fairfield still perfect on the season. I keep the Mules at number 7. Southridge, after that loss to Heritage Hills, dropping you down to number 8. And my number 9 and number 10 teams this week stay the same. It is 1 loss Owensboro Catholic and a perfect Mount Carmel rounding out my top 10.
Randall, our rankings will look a little bit of the same. This is new for our rankings. I do have Heritage Hills at that number 1 spot. And then I'll also give some love to Central. They'll move up to number 2. Madisonville, North Hopkins, I like them at the bronze spot, number 3. Memorial drops to number 4. And the Red Devils will round it out at number 5. And then moving on, the second half, Gibson Southern slated at number 6. Then I got the Raiders going to number 7. The Mules will stay at number 8. Owensboro Catholic would move up in my rankings from 10 to 9, and Mount Carmel rounds it out at number 10.
I think we have the exact same 10 teams in there.
Yeah.
Just
in different, a little different order.
All right, on the season, I went 2-1 last week, so now I am 12-9 on the season. Mike went 3-0, so he has pulled into first place tie with me at 12-9. Jessica is now 11-10 on the season, and Veach is also 11-10 on the season. So it looks like Mike and I are in control as we head down.
We're gonna have to boogie down. We're gonna see who gets that top spot.
All right, again, that's all the time we have for this week's of the Home Team Friday preview show. Again, the big show tomorrow night, 10:35 on ABC 25. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again next Thursday right here on TriStateHomepage.com.